A short summary of the genocide against Biafrans in Nigeria. History of massacre. 1. Kano 1945. Over 200 Igbos were killed. 2. Kano 1980. Over 1,000 Igbos were killed. 3. 1966 massacres. 40,000 Igbo Christians. 4. May 29, 1967. Over 200,000 Igbo Christians were killed. 5. 1967–70. Over 3,100,000 killed during the bloody civil war, including the Asaba genocide. 6. Kano 1980. Over 40,000 Igbo Christians. 7. Maiduguri 1982–1983. Over 500 Igbos were killed. 8. Jimeta 1984. More than 1,500 Igbos were killed. 9. Gom 1985. 10. Zaria 1987. 11. Kaduna and Kafanchan 1991. 12. Bauchi and Katsina 1991. 13. Kano 1991. 14. Zangan-Kataf 1992. 15. Funchua 1993. 16. Kano 1994. 17. Kaduna 2000. 18. Kaduna 2001. 19. Maiduguri 2001. 20. Jos Maiden Crisis September 2001. 21. Kaduna 2002. 22. Jos November 2008. 23. Beheading of Gideon Okaluka in December of 1996 in a police station in Kano. 24. St. Moritz killed December 2001. 25. Post-April 2011 presidential election. 10 Youth Corps men and women and numerous citizens murdered because a Christian Southerner was elected. 26. Jos Christmas Eve 2010. 27. Madala Christmas Day 2011. 28. Mubi January 6, 2012. 29. The many Igbo deaths caused by Boko Haram, which of course has the full backing of the northern elites. 30. 2015 Muhammadu Buhari got into government. Over 5,000 IPOB members have been killed and 5,000 imprisoned. The enmity against Ndigbo is deeply seated in the heart of Hausa/Fulanis of Nigeria. It is imperative to correct false propaganda making rounds in an attempt by every successive government in Nigeria to cover this genocide. In 1953, when independence loomed, Ahmadu Bello, the founder of Gamji, said, "We cannot fight to dispense of white masters only to be ruled by new black masters called Igbo. Even here in the north they run the post offices, railways, civil service, and they have taken up all the shops we create. Call them Igbo, but you can also call them Zionists. But we shall not relinquish the estate of our fathers to such wretched people who have never had an administration before." Source: 1968. The Year That Shook the World by Walter Schultz. In 1964, Major Gibson Jallow, after downing a bottle or two at the Kachia Barracks mess, moaned, "We are captives to this Igbos. We can never enjoy our new nation until we chase every single Igbo man out the north." Source: The Five Majors. Same Jallow, Martin Adam murdered Kul Tim Onwuchukwu, many days after the war at Abakaliki. In 1967, Inyawawada, addressing northern leaders in Luggard Hall, Kaduna, cried, "For long we had cried that these vermins Igbo must be removed from our soil. Now we have seen the result of our negligence. A new opportunity of reducing the population is here, the war." Source: Last Days of Biafra by A. Modiebo. There are more. As a mere local major, but substantive captain, your boss, Sani Abacha strode into the Air Force Base mess in 1966 and shouted at Kal Jubrin, Air Force commander, "It is our duty to teach the Igbos a final lesson and they will never leave their regions anymore." Source: Last Flight by A.O.P. Same Abacha implemented a PTF roguery repair of roads that gave the southeast a mere 4% when northwest had 89%, northeast 92%, north central 72%, southwest 39% and south-south 35%. For all the love of that darling boss of our dear elder, the southeast got only 4%. Through the regimes, virtually every airport in the north, including the 1-week-a-flight Sokoto Airport, are all international airports. When it was proposed to develop the Oguta Gulf as the best possible sea sanctuary for Europe-bound vessels, Abacha flatly rejected it and drifted in his insane style to plans to dredge the Niger up to Busa, which he never did. Do you remember the Naya Naya Iskane episode in Kano? After the Kano killings and burning of Igbo business outfits, 1991, your Kano princes tried to indoctrinate the Almajiris on a pre-stated plea of ignorance of what they were doing. Those words meant, they did not know what they were doing. It was Justice Ugwudyke who queried it. Who are they? For the Almayiri who was speaking for himself. When pressed by an aggressive lawyer, the fool admitted that it was what he was told to say by the benign princes in the emir's palace. We can go on and on. Is it not idiotic to hold the opinion that Ndi Igbo would be better in Nigeria as a country? The only experience comparable to Igbo experience in Nigeria is the Jews' Holocaust. It would be foolish to ask Jews to stay and live in Germany because their lives would be better since Germany has been exorcised of Nazist. We have had our Holocaust, we have experienced genocide of immense proportion executed with wicked intent, we have experienced starvation comparable only to the gas chamber. Why is the world still silent?